This is Cathrin Manning, and every YouTuber out there should know her story. Cathrin went from being buried in over $21,000 in credit card debt to making over $300,000 per year on YouTube. With close to 500,000 subscribers, Cathrin Manning isn't just a YouTube success story, but a shining example of relentless determination and genius strategy. That's great and all, but why should you care? Well, Cathrin's journey isn't just about overcoming financial hurdles or skyrocketing subscriber counts. It's a lesson in authenticity, resilience, and brave decision making. Because despite the years spent growing her channel, she chose to risk giving it all up when she decided to change her niche. So whether you're an aspiring YouTuber seeking tangible tips to grow, or you're a seasoned YouTuber considering a dramatic niche change, you need to hear the story of Cathrin Manning. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll pick up the story in October of 2017. At the time, Cathrin was working full-time at a small digital marketing startup, and she'd been running a blog called The Content Bug for about 9 months. Her blog was focused on helping new bloggers with more complex digital marketing concepts like Google SEO. With the aim to create more effective tutorials, she decided to launch a YouTube channel. The idea was simple: make a video tutorial, post it on YouTube, link it to her blog, and repeat once a week, until she was put into an interesting situation. Her boss at the digital marketing startup was planning to merge with another company. Her boss was completely fine with what she was doing with her personal brand and with the Content Bug. But when she hopped on a call with who would be her new boss after the merger, he told her that he was uncomfortable with her side hustle. His reasoning was that since her end goal was to work for herself, she wouldn't be a loyal employee. He would much rather train up someone who truly wanted to grow within the company. Cathrin was faced with a choice: abandon the Content Bug or quit her job. She was distraught. At that point, she had only made a few $100s from her brand, not nearly enough to survive on. And then, within a week of the news that her boss wanted to merge with a company that didn't want her, she was offered a freelancing gig. It paid roughly the same as her full-time job, but it only required her to work for 20 hours per week. She quit her job, started her freelancing gig, continued to work on her blog and her YouTube channel, and everything was going great. Until 1 month later. Originally, the folks she was freelancing for said that they wanted her on for a 6-month period, but within a month, they experienced a hiring freeze, which included cutting out all freelancers and contractors. Within 1 month, Cathrin went from "hell yeah, this is working" to no income. At that time, she had roughly $4,000 saved up. By the end of 2017, after 2 months of uploading every single week on YouTube, she hit 10 subscribers. She was running out of money fast. In order to make ends meet, Cathrin juggled multiple gigs: Pinterest management, SEO consultations, digital marketing coaching, and even launched paid products for bloggers. Through it all, she continued to share weekly tips on YouTube about how to grow a blog, how to grow on Pinterest, and how to grow on Instagram. But despite her efforts, she started to accumulate credit card debt. The money she was making was very inconsistent. Some months she made $1,200, some months she made $400. She was living with her significant other at the time, which helped cut expenses, but she still wasn't making enough. Expenses for her business, living costs, and bills piled up, and she started driving for Grubhub to make some extra money. At the end of 2018, over a year after starting her YouTube channel and uploading a video every single week, she had a grand total of 311 subscribers. An entire year of uploading videos consistently, and she only had 311 subscribers. But you see, up until that point, Cathrin's main focus wasn't her YouTube channel, it was her blog. That wasn't really working out for her, so in the beginning of 2019, she decided to dedicate more time to YouTube.
Like, if I would have tried harder, if I would have done my research, if I wouldn't have just been all over the place and, you know, just kind of used YouTube for fun, I definitely could have grown a lot faster.
She started studying YouTubers with around 30,000 subscribers, people she felt were 1 or 2 steps ahead of her. She learned from how-to YouTube channels like Sunny Lenarduzzi and Think Media. One key piece of advice that she took to heart was to niche down.
I narrowed down to 3 topics.
Up until that point, she thought that she was doing everything right for her YouTube channel. She was uploading consistently, she was engaging with her audience, she was cross-promoting her videos. But she realized that her videos were all over the place, covering all sorts of different topics. She realized that even if someone liked one of her videos, there was no guarantee that they would like her next video because the topics that she covered was just so broad. So she decided to niche down to just 3 things: blogging, Pinterest, and how she does things. It started to work. In February 2019, she hit 500 subscribers. She continued to focus on YouTube. She bought a new camera, which dramatically increased her video quality over the shaky camera that she was using before. She learned about YouTube SEO and started to look at what her audience was searching for, creating videos to fit those gaps. She learned about audience retention and started to implement different scenes and B-roll to get her retention up. She started to spend more time making her thumbnails more click-worthy, and she changed the formats for her titles, used more caps locks, leading with the result of the video, and using up all 100 characters of the title to include more keywords. And she also started to verbally mention her goal of getting monetized on YouTube. As she did so, her viewers started to get more invested into her own journey to monetization. In May, she uploaded a video about the business of blogging, which was one of the huge turning points in her brand. In the making of that video, Cathrin found her voice. She discovered that the thing that set her apart, the thing that made her videos unique, was being remarkably transparent and creating videos about things that no one else was really talking about. This voice gave her a grounding element to incorporate in all of her videos. And it worked. In June, Cathrin was averaging 10,000 views per month and hit her 1,000 subscriber milestone. 1 month later, she reached her 4,000 watch hour threshold, was officially monetized on YouTube. On July 22nd, Cathrin released a video about finally getting monetized on YouTube. The video did two things for Cathrin. It brought her new subscribers who were interested in YouTube, and it brought out her current subscribers who were interested in starting YouTube channels. Prior to that point, the vast majority of Cathrin's content focused on blogging and Pinterest. But after reading through the comments she received on her video about getting monetized on YouTube, she decided to dedicate the entire month of August to making YouTube videos about YouTube. On August 28th, Cathrin released a video about receiving her first YouTube paycheck. That video soon became her most viewed video. And as this video started to blow up, her previous video about getting monetized on YouTube also started to blow up, as new viewers often watched both. This was a pivotal moment in Cathrin's journey. She saw her YouTube-related videos taking off. She realized that she should capitalize on it by making more YouTube-related videos. She noticed what was working and she doubled down. Her channel started to pick up momentum. She was entering the YouTube tips niche, which was a pretty saturated niche, but her content stood out. She was a beginner making content for other YouTube beginners. Newbies on YouTube could relate more to her and her journey than they could to some of the YouTube tips channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. As she started to grow, she was mentioned in videos from Roberta Blake, Think Media, and Jasmine Garcia, putting her name and her channel in front of larger audiences. From October to December, her subscriber count jumped from 5K to 40K, finally hitting 50K in January 2020. In the course of just a few months, Cathrin went from struggling to make $1,500 per month to now making $9,000 per month from her YouTube channel. By March, Cathrin hit 75,000 subscribers. You know what else happened in March of 2020? A worldwide pandemic hit. Cathrin had a video idea planned about how much money she was making on YouTube, but she realized it wasn't a great time for that video. People were getting laid off of their jobs. People were stuck isolated at home. So instead, Cathrin came up with another video idea. A video idea that would help lead more people into her channel. People who were interested in her wealth of YouTube related videos that she had. A video idea who might help people who were stuck at home, might help people who had just been laid off of their jobs. That video idea was how to start a YouTube channel, beginner's guide to YouTube and growing from zero. And it blew up big time. Less than 1 month later, on April 14th, Cathrin hit 100,000 subscribers. And 1 month after that, Cathrin had made enough money to completely pay off her credit card debt, which at the end of 2019 had totaled over $21,000. Cathrin's rise on YouTube was meteoric, and while from the outside it might seem like an overnight success, it was far from it. Remember, the first year of her having a YouTube channel and uploading weekly resulted in 311 subscribers. Her growth was the result of strategic decisions and resilience. She niched down so that if someone discovered and enjoyed one of her videos, they'd be much more likely to enjoy the rest of them. She engaged with her audience, explicitly telling them her goal of getting monetized on YouTube so they became invested in her YouTube journey. She invested in herself, upgrading her camera and pouring more time into improving her cinematography, titles, thumbnails, and editing. She stopped trying to be like others, instead found her own unique voice, talking about topics and details that no one else covered. She obsessed over YouTube SEO and keyword research, targeting keywords within her niche with a high search volume and a low competition. She read through her comments and listened to her viewers to make the type of videos that they wanted to see. When something started to work, she noticed and doubled down. If the timing didn't work out for a particular video idea, she did not hesitate to pivot and create something that fit better. When she started to gain momentum, she capitalized on it, always asking herself, if someone watched this video, what video would they want to watch next? And she hustled. After a year of seeing close to no results, she didn't give up. She kept going. In the first 30 months of being on YouTube, she only missed 2 uploads. That was how Cathrin Manning grew on YouTube. It wasn't by getting lucky. It was by being fiercely resilient and incredibly strategic. And if you're new to YouTube like me, and you're wondering why you're not growing or what you're doing wrong, take a look at what Cathrin did. Her journey serves as one of the best roadmaps out there for growing from zero on YouTube. Okay, so what happens next? Because if you take a look at Cathrin's YouTube channel now, you'll see that she no longer posts polished talking head videos talking about YouTube tips. What changed? Well, let's jump back into the story. It's May 2020 and Cathrin had paid off all of her credit card debt. Her channel was growing at the speed of light and things were going great. Then June rolled around. Remember that significant other of hers that was mentioned earlier? They were together for over 7 years and they ended up getting married. And then on June 24th, he told her that he cheated on her.
My ex walked into my office, sat down on my couch and said, I need to tell you something. And I knew in that moment, I was like, our relationship is over.
They had just bought a house together. Needless to say, Cathrin's personal life completely fell apart. A lot of other crap came out when he finally broke the news, and they ended up getting a divorce. Through all of that, Cathrin continued to post on YouTube. She had previously created a secondary channel, a vlog channel with her husband. She continued to post vlogs as well because she felt like she needed to keep up a facade. She didn't want questions and she wanted to deal with things herself. So for the rest of 2020, Cathrin continued to post on YouTube. And as she did so, she fell more and more out of love with her content. She had wanted her main channel to be a channel that could grow with her, but instead she found herself trapped in this YouTube tips box that she couldn't break out of. She was no longer creating videos on her main channel that she wanted to create. She felt like she was running 2 separate brands. One was YouTube Tips, and the other was her. In the beginning of 2021, she tried to slowly transition her main channel content to expand outside of pure YouTube tips. As a result, her views dropped a lot. She had a lot more fun with her content, but it wasn't a big enough change for her to love her channel again. As 2021 continued, she was doing better personally, but some of her loved ones were struggling.
Shit going on, as I'll say, but my loved ones did, and it took a huge toll on me because I didn't know how I fit into that equation. Like, I am a 2, I'm a helper. I am so much a caregiver that if anything ever happens, I'm like, I will drop my whole entire world and I will be there for you.
Cathrin dropped everything to help make things better for her loved ones, to the point of breaking herself. By the end of 2021, Cathrin was in a bad place. She had grown to almost despise her main channel, and she was struggling with depression. She went on a trip with her sister and brother-in-law, and she opened up to them. Her sister said,
Okay, so if 2020 sucked for you, and if 2021 sucked for you, what is it going to take for 2022 not to suck for you?
And Cathrin realized she needed to live her life for herself. In her past relationship, she lived her life for him. In 2021, she gave so much of herself to her family. She needed to live 2022 for herself. So she took the entire month of January off of YouTube, off of both her main channel and her vlog channel, off of Instagram, off her entire brand as a whole. She spent some time figuring out who she was without a camera in her face. And she watched a video from Peter McKinnon that helped her crystallize how she was feeling.
First place, to start a channel or start your creative journey, whatever that is, you were pumped enough to just, on your own vocation, pick up a camera or pick up whatever instrument that you use to make something, and it got you to a certain place. But once you got to that place, you start to get influenced from the outside. And then when you take influence from the outside and that replaces what you initially had that got you started, then the path changes and it usually forks into a direction that doesn't help, that doesn't make things easy, because that path is not the path you should be on. You should be continuing down the path that got you started in the first place.
She realized that despite her best efforts, she let her channel be so influenced by others that she lost sight of why she started a YouTube channel in the first place, to create a life she loved. She wasn't living a life she loved. She was far from it. And she realized that she had been sitting in this fork in the road for so long, and she knew in her heart which road she needed to take, but she had been avoiding it. And as a result, she had just stopped, prolonging and delaying that decision for as long as she could. She knew she needed a change. And while she hated her main channel, she loved her vlog channel and she loved her Instagram. It was there that she felt like she could be herself. In a conversation with her sister brought up that when Cathrin released merch, the vast majority of sales had come from when she launched on Instagram and her vlog channel. Barely any sales had come from announcing the merch on her main channel. Cathrin realized that her core audience, the ones who bought her merch and the ones who'd be interested in future events that she wanted to put on, were the ones who were following her on Instagram and watching her vlogs. And she realized that her mission to live for herself and her desire to create for her core audience did intersect. They just didn't intersect at YouTube tips. So in February 2022, Cathrin decided to take back her main channel.
I'm taking back my Cathrin Manning channel. I'm taking it back. I am not letting outside influences continue to determine the content and what I share on this channel.
She would stop uploading on her vlog channel, and the Cathrin Manning channel would encompass all things Cathrin Manning. She knew that her YouTube channel would take a huge hit, and she was okay with that. She was terrified. She didn't want to start completely from scratch, and she knew the risks of a huge channel pivot, but she knew that it was what she needed to do. So she started to post more vlogs and more videos about goals and personal development. She still did incorporate some YouTube related content, but it was all within a vlog format. As soon as she started posting her new content, she immediately started to lose subscribers. But she also started to gain subscribers from her new videos too. In May, she bought her dream house, a fixer-upper on a lake. The majority of her content shifted to renovation vlogs. In August, her subscriber gain per month had dropped to nearly half of what it was before her channel pivot. But the average view duration for her new content was 3 to 4 times that of her old average view duration. That was huge. By the end of 2022, the result of the first year of her new content was in. Her views were down 39%. Her subscribers were down 38%. Her revenue from AdSense was down 35%. Her RPM and CPM, surprisingly, were up 5% and 7% respectively. And when it came down to her overall income, in 2021, she earned $382,735. In 2022, she earned $301,275. For the first year of completely pivoting niches, that is incredible. Cathrin was initially terrified that she was going to have to start over from zero again. But her 2022 was far from zero. And in fact, she landed her biggest brand deal ever in 2022 after her niche change. And the revenue from that sponsorship didn't hit until 2023. So it isn't even reflected in her 2022 numbers. And aside from the money, now, midway through 2023, Cathrin is happier than ever. YouTube has finally stopped recommending her content for the keyword how to start a YouTube channel. Instead, her new vlogs are ranking in search for other keywords. She is losing the right subscribers and gaining the right subscribers. And she's finally creating a life she loves. Cathrin, if you're watching this video, I love your content and you are such an inspiration. If you want to learn more about Cathrin's niche change, check out this video of hers. Otherwise, if there's another YouTuber that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and I will see you in the next video.